All right, doing this for you because, man, you got to know how you're going to make money. It's one thing to for some people like, hey, you should do real estate, like, or you should invest in real estate, but how are you going to actually make money investing in real estate? Which is a lot of my big things when I talk to investors, right? Because people are like, man, Vic, I got 100,000, I got 200,000, I got 500,000. Like, what should I do with my money if I'm going to invest it with you guys? Right. So I wanted to kind of share this with you because very few people teach this. Usually they show you how to do a deal, but they rarely ever show you how you're going to actually make money with it. It sounds nice, but I'm going to show you. So let's say, for example, we bought a $50 million deal, right? We bought a $50 million deal and we all collectively came together and we put down 40%, right? That's reasonable, right? 20 million. We put down $20 million. We got a bank loan for the other 30, right? For the other 30 million, boom, pays the debt. So the property's cash flow and it does what it does. So first things first, whenever I'm thinking through, and this is the same math every time, guys. Every time I look at a deal, where I'm trying to decide, I'm figuring a deal out, whether it's worth it for us to have our investors' money and our money in a deal. This is what we're looking at all the time, right? Banks do this, pension funds do this, life insurance companies do this. All of them invest in the same assets that we look at. All right, so $20 million. So let's say we all collectively came together and we threw our money down and we all put 20 million on a deal. So number one thing we're looking at investing is not to lose the money. We're going to take our $20 million, we're going to convert it into a $50 million deal that's cash flowing the day we start. All right. So that's number one. Is the first target. Don't lose money. Right. So the next piece is we know that on the deals that we're looking at, where my target on a deal is to make 5%. So let's say on this deal, 5% on our $20 million is roughly $1 million. We're going to get $1 million a year. And let's say we held this deal for 10 years in this example, right? So we're going to hold this deal for 10, which means we're going to make $10 million on this deal. That's just chilling. Assuming we haven't raised rents, we didn't do nothing. At some point, we hit 5%, and this deal floated. Now, you really can't assume that because what deal do you know that's a great location, a great asset, that's in a great city, that's a great piece of property, right? Is not going to eventually have some type of rental increase. You can get natural rent increases just based on inflation. So, whenever we look at a deal, we go simply, what does rents continue to do in this country? Over the last 40 years, really longer than that, 1945, rents have continued to go up in this country. But over the last 40 years, the last 4 decades, rents have went up on the average of 9%. And you can Google that, you can look it up, says it, and it's there, right? So don't just believe me, you can go ahead on and take the time. But when we look at a deal, I'm conservative, right? Because I don't like I try to look at things like, hey man, what if we don't get what we want? But I'm pretty positive we can get, especially for the assets that we're looking at, a great asset, great location that rents in the areas that we're looking at, San Diego County, Mission, the Mission Beach area, the Mission Valley, all those deals next to like these really, really great multi-billion-dollar shopping centers and developments. Those deals are going to go up roughly about, I would say 5% in San Diego, but let's cut it back. Let's say we only get 3, right? So let's say we get a 3% increase per year on a deal. Now, usually, and you guys have all heard of compounding interest. Compounding interest, I think it was Einstein or one of those guys, like that's the great secret. And Tony Robbins talks about a compound interest, right? So even though we're not going to assume compound interest, it would be, let's say the rents are 2,000, then it would be like a $60 increase, and then it would be 3% on the $2,060, and then 3% on the next. But we're not doing that. We're just going to stick. Let's just say we got 3%. So, but 3% on our money as an increase. We're already getting this, right? From that 5. We're already getting $1 million a year. So this 3% would be $600. I mean, 600,000. 600,000 a year. And let's say we didn't get that for all 10 years. Let's say we only got it for 5 years of the 10. Let's say we did a good job, but we were able to capture that. All right. So that's another 3 million. $3 million. This is extra income. This is the income that we got. This is income. That's an increase. Believe it or not, that says increase. So this $3 million. So now we got $10 million and we have $3 million. That's what, 13 million? $13 million on our money already. So we already really made 50%. We made half of our money back. We made 50% of our money back just on the 5% target that we're looking to hit. And we got an extra $3 million from the increase of 5 years of holding. Just saying, hey, look, worst case scenario, let's say we only got 3%. Even though it's been higher than that, let's just say 3. All right. So that said, now we have what? We still got our 20 million because we didn't lose it. We got our $20 million still in the property in an asset that's $50 million. Probably worth more than that because we're talking about 10 years into the future with all these rental increases, but we'll keep it simple for now, right? So we have our 20 million, hasn't been lost. We made, what did we say? We made 10 million already, right? That's 50% of our money back, right? Based on that, because that was the target. Then we made another 6 million. I'll keep with the zeros. $6 million. Zeros just make things more real than putting it in buying stuff, right? And we got that for the 5 years. We got 5 years because we did a 3%. We got the 3% increases, right? So we're already here based on that. Is that right? It was a 3. My bad. It was 600,000. 600,000. So that's a 3 million. 3 million. 3 million. That's 600. Boom. All right. Don't worry about my scratches out. But we made that. So now, overall, from cash flow, we made $13 million of our money that we invested $20 million. We all collectively came together. Right now, we've all been distributed roughly about $13 million over 10 years. Now, when I go to sell this property, I'm not going to sell this property unless we can hit a double, right? We need to double that money. So worst case scenario, let's say 10 years into the future, I'm going to rip somebody's head off, I promise you. So we won't sell unless we're exiting that deal 60 million. Right? So at $60 million, we know where we are. So we're going to exit the deal at $60 million, right? Our 20 million is turned into 60 million, right? Plus the 13 million that we made. So that's 73 million. That's 73 million out of this one deal. If you take that 2 million, 20 million turned into 73 million over a 10-year period, that's what is that, 365% increase. That we've grown our 20 million to $73 million in that specific deal. So this is why I love multifamily real estate, but very few people will go through this because a lot of times it's really interesting. Rather than talk to people about how much money you're going to make as an investor, be able to, hey, we threw money in on this deal. This is how we're going to figure our deals. We're going to target 5%. We know we have a rental increase. Oh, and we won't go through that. That's on the deal thing. I was getting excited and ahead of myself. I like to show people how we're going to make the money. Like if we had the rental increases, how we know we're going to do it. That's on a different training. But this one for sure. If you're sitting on money, you got to get, number one thing, don't lose money. So the money that we have, we got our 20 million, we put that in, we got our 20 million back, and that 20 million turned into 73 million over 10 years, and we got paid to wait the whole time, right? The other piece of this, and I didn't go over that, is my goal is a couple of years into this thing, not 10 years. I'm not going to wait for 10 years. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back to the bank with those rental increases, and I'm going to say, hey guys, property's doing good. What do you guys think? And they will probably say, hey, Vic, you know what? Let's do this. We'll refinance it. We'll let you pull out 20 million. I'm going to give that back to you guys, right? That's how this would work, right? And that would be a non-taxable event. And then we would sit and float on this deal and we would keep getting this cash flow in every year. We'll get this increase. We'll get this cash flow. That'll just keep on going. But now it's an infinite return on our money because we have no money left in the deal. That is the magic of being able to multiply money and sit and wait until that 20 turns into 60 and we pull out the 13. And like, this is the real game. This is how wealthy keep getting wealthy. They play this game. I've been calling it the leapfrog forever. When I learned it, was like, oh, you guys put a down payment down, refinance all your money, don't pay any taxes on it, and then roll that money into another deal, but you still own the asset and the cash flow and the tax write-off for you and your investors, that's crazy. And then before you know it, their schedule of real estate, which is basically it's a list of all their assets, it continues to grow. And all of their investors continue to make a lot of money and create wealth. And this is what we're doing for Bell Capital. So if you guys are interested in this, we have a real estate event coming up, and I really want you guys to attend if you can make it. It's going to be live. It's going to be at our headquarters here in Carlsbad, California. We're outside of San Diego. You're welcome to come in. If you're going to fly in, let me know. Leave me a comment, or you can go to bell-capital.com. You can register. The two things you can do on the site. Invest now. You can set up your own investor portal. You get the opportunity to see the open fund, or you can schedule a call. You schedule a call, one of us will reach out to you, or you can put your information there. You will schedule a call and we can get you all lined up. Or you can just text 808-778-1326, text RSVP, and one of us will get back to you and we'll put you on the list for coming to our event coming up. And we're also doing something, I think we're doing something in Austin coming up here in July. We're going to be doing something in Austin in July, I think around the 10th or the 11th of the month. But I would love to meet you guys in person. Like, it's one thing to talk on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and communicate online and the Zooms that we have. It's another thing to get together with you guys. So we're doing an event. It's for accredited investors only. You got to be liquid. You got to be serious. Got to love real estate. Like I said, love what it can do for you. You don't necessarily need to love real estate, but you need to be an investor and you got to be serious. All right. So that's for the office, accredited only. Or I'm going to be in Austin. I'm going to be there for one night, just a meet and greet. It's going to be downtown Austin. I'm not sure where we're working on that, but I would love to connect with you. If you have questions about this, reach out, right? I really love to talk to you. My team loves to talk to people. We're here for you. Our goal is to talk to a human being. We set up the ability to be able to talk to people. Like, we want to talk to our investors. I want to personally meet our investors. I want to be so big I can't do that. We kind of have this thing, but I'll never be that big where I can't collectively make sure that I continue to build out my team to where we can get to know you guys, because I have a family. You guys probably have a family. And I want to make sure that what we're doing takes care of you and your family. So that way, because like I said, we're partners. You're taking care of mine as a company. So we appreciate you guys. All right. So hopefully this helps. I was like, what is this about, Vic? Man, how are we going to make money? How is the money made in these deals? And this is how. You buy deals, you don't lose your money, you get cash flow, and then we exit. We double, we triple, we quadruple on the way out. That's how it's done. That's exciting, man. Like, if somebody had showed me this when I was in my early 20s, I would have done 1,000 times more, and I would have went bigger, and I would have been raising money the whole time. I wouldn't have been flipping houses. I wouldn't have done any little deals. I would have been flipping stuff. I wouldn't have done 72s, creative financing, nothing. I would have just done this with my investors. This is all we would have done. And I probably would have still had probably 90% of the real estate multifamily properties that I hate that I sold those things that I bought back then. So that's a whole nother topic. You see, that's a sore subject for me. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Like this video, share this video. If you have questions, leave it in the comments. Subscribe to our channel, and we're looking forward to making some more content for you, explaining what you need to be doing with your money and how money works if you were to invest it in real estate. All right, so let's talk soon. Have a great day today. Let's get after it, guys.